Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Ellen. Today we're having fun with ink and wash. I'm using my tiny little tumarta sketchbook here. Super cute, 4x6. This fun little tutorial. If you're a Patreon member, you get the traceable that goes with this. I talk about many ways you can create these things for yourself. Take some pictures of your furniture in your house and go about doing that. I show you how I draw it with my Sharpie pen and just go in and add the color. Super fun. Super doable. Tiny little pictures are fun to paint. I love painting them. You should try it too. You don't have to do this magnificent, huge watercolors. You can have watercolor for fun for something like this. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. But without further ado, let's get started. So I have this little sketchbook. It's like 4x6 from tumarta. I think it's in my Amazon shop. And it's 100% cotton, and it's pretty thick. So I've got some great paintings I was painting in here. Some of these are tutorials on YouTube. Some of them are not. That was one. I think this might be one. Can't tell. This is not. This is from Sissinghurst Castle in the UK, and this is the place we stayed in the UK. And this is a tutorial from a place we went to in the UK. I believe this is a tutorial as well. And this is from when I was out in Bend, Oregon. So these are not tutorials. And Cape Cod. And I believe this might be a tutorial. Little flowers. And so today, I have this little sketch that I did. And Patreon members, like I said, get the sketch. But basically, I'm encouraging you to, like, maybe in your house, you have a chair or a little vignette or some kind of, like, maybe it's not ornate. It could be just simple. It could be a simple chair, a couch. And I'm using my Sharpie permanent marker. It's a fine point marker. And just draw the corner of your room. You know, here I'm just drawing the little lamp, little detail. I'm just making up like a scenario of a room. Do those little details. I love using pen and ink because you can use fun details with the ink. If you really like to draw or doodle, then this is perfect for you. If you're better at inking things. So I just did a little lamp. You could do a simple lamp on a bureau. Bureaus are just simple shapes, rectangles and squares, you know, and then you could add a little more. If your bureau is more ornate, you can add all those details. This one's a little bit ornate. You can little details in the legs. And the handle could be gold, a little ornate. These little handles here. And I particularly like to put the marker down first and then fill it in. You can have like little lines like this. And then the chair, of course, find some really cool ornate chair. If you don't have an ornate chair, use like a funky chair that you have in your house that's interesting. Maybe it has interesting fabric on it. Like I said, this could be like an 18th century chair. Maybe not, I don't know. I'm just kind of playing with this. And just filling this in and doing the legs. Okay, and if you don't have anything interesting like this, you know what's kind of cool? I talk about this. I don't know if I talked about this before. Obviously take your camera on your phone or whatever your camera you have. Go to like a showroom or an antique store and take some photographs there. You know, like the little setup. If they give you permission, it's okay. Some people might not want to do that, but you know. I took some photographs of Versailles, and some of the rooms there are very ornate. Like the chairs are even more ornate than this. And you can totally just draw something like this from those photographs. If you stayed in like a really cute B&B that has like beautiful floral curtains and chairs and fabrics, and you don't have to draw like every part of the room. Just a section, maybe just the couch with the coffee table. Just little ideas, and a little sketchbook like this is perfect for that. See, I'm just adding little details. The little frame here could have little scalloped edges. You see that I'm doing that? And then you have to you can just do like a whole page of just really cute frames like this. Make up a little tree here. Tree and landscape and a little house kind of hanging out here. Right? And then for this chair, floral, just going to draw some simple flowers, or I can paint them. And the same thing with the rest of the picture. See, I just drew the simple little vignette. It's like a little section of a room. This would be the wood floor. I always give my Sharpie pen like a few minutes to dry before I go in and erase all the little pencil marks, because I had the pencil mark there. I could have put something over here too. I could have put like another table or a plant. I didn't do that. But you guys can easily do something like that. I add another chair, something interesting. I was thinking about now, maybe I could even have like an umbrella stand, right? So wait a few minutes for it to dry before you go ahead and take your eraser to it, because it's happened to me where you put the eraser on it, and guess what happens? You actually make that pen bleed on your paper, and there's no going back because that's that permanent marker. So simple. Just draw as simple shapes. Doesn't have to be ornate like chairs like this. Can be a little more simpler. Oh, and look at it. I lost the back of this chair. And here's the edge. Fun. And then just take your... I'm actually going to add some more detail on this guy. You take your paintbrush, whatever you're going to use. I'm going to play with this 8 round from this Velvet Touch from Princeton. And then you have to think about colors, right? So now you got your little idea here and colors, and I want to use some spring colors. What would I do? You could do everything in like blues. You can make it like, you know, think of an Airbnb that has like multicolor kind of things. So I'm going to take ultramarine blue deep. It could be purples and blues and pinks. It could be pink and green. I don't know. You can play around with it. Maybe I'll do a pink chair. I'm actually moving my brain around. Do I want blues? Do I want pinks? Maybe I want all of it. So I'm going to mix bright rose with some cadmium red light, get like a nice pretty pink. I think the bright rose by itself from Holbein is pretty, but I just wanted to make a little bit rose color. And I'm just going to put that, see, I'm just going to, little color. Like, you just have to do little doodads like this. You don't have to paint like serious looking roses. My brush is very rounded, so maybe I would get a more pointy brush. I just kind of make little doodad lines around those little blobs. Okay, you don't want to cooperate. Sometimes everything doesn't want to cooperate. And that's fine. I'm going to mix up more paint. So I put little wiggle lines to make little roses. See? Open them up a little bit. Zoom in so you can see. So they're just little blobs and like little wiggles around it with little lines. So I have a nice pointy brush. This is a brand new Princeton 10 long round Velvet Touch series. Great little point. When you have brand new brushes, they have great points. So this rose color seems a little rosy. I might want it to be a little bit pinker. I don't know. I'm playing with it right now. And the bureau could be a color. Everything could be a color. Maybe you want to do that. It's a little crazy. For the frames, it's just cadmium yellow deep and a little of the burnt umber. I get like a nice gold color. So you can just put that yellow color down. If you want gold paint without actually having gold paint. So it's like a gilded frame. Maybe make a couple of these. Right? Or you can make a colored frame. Again, make it as colorful as you want. That's the first pass, and then we have to go, I know, it's kind of silly, but we make another pass, we have more definition. And the bureau, like I said, can be brown or color. I'm going to mix some burnt umber. Just lighten it up. Just a little brown. Because, you know, I want to make it kind of look traditional, except the furniture. No, the little handles here could be gold. And my floor would be brown also. Maybe I'd use a different color. Right, and the chair can be more of a gold frame. Could I go back and use my gold again? You know, those gilded chairs. Oops, I forgot to paint that little armrest with the pinky color for the fabric. Just clean up your brush. La 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 la. And paint a little pink on the arms. Now, I thought my rose got a little duddy, so I'm going to add bright rose to it. It doesn't look as pretty as I wanted to. Oh, very vibrant color. Now it's better. It was a little dull. And I can kind of do something pretty like that on the lampshade. Little rose, little floral. Do-da-da-da. You can make it stripes, whatever you like. I'm going to go back and use my burnt umber for the lovely floor. Just really quickly putting this in. It's fun to just draw everything out and then go back in with just a nice little brush. I have to fill this in. And then we're going to do another pass, of course. Now, I want the background. The background could be like a color with another color on it. I'm going to paint it with the ultramarine blue deep and then do like a stripe with that. So I just water down the paint, get this really pretty, almost like periwinkle blue, and I'm just going to fill it all in. It's good to use a bigger brush because it will take you 4 hours to paint everything in with the tiny brush, and you won't get this nice flat wash. You'll get this streaky kind of wash with the small brush. Really, the technique is to try and use things with a bigger brush to get that more flat wash look. If it doesn't happen, no big deal, because you could put a pattern on it and you wouldn't even notice. Right here. And you gotta go in here because it's peeking through here. While that's drying, you can go back in with yellow and that burnt umber again, a little thicker, and we can just add little details like this with your brush to make it a little bit three-dimensional, just on the edges and some of these lines and on the chair. These are tiny little details that are fun. Just like that. So, and once your blue dries, I'm just going to take my brush, and I use this movement like this when I paint a lot. It just helps put a stripe in there. You see that? So I'm going to do a stripe. If you have to draw it in, draw it in. Make sure it connects like this and goes down like so. So it doesn't look like it's not fitting in line with the wallpaper, right? Otherwise it's going to look really funny. But it helps to move your brush, like you can ground your hand with something like right here and then just move your brush this way. This is how I control my brush. That's how you have control over it. A much easier way to control it than freehanding like this. Just like that. You can get a little bit darker if you want to. And you don't have to put stripes, by the way. You can put flowers on the wallpaper too. You could have some fun with that. The pillow here could be like another type of floral. Maybe it would be yellow floral. I have a pink already. We already have the blue in the background. And then we have the gold chair. Think about yellow, red, orange. I'm going to try and put some yellows in there. So I'll just put some little ditzy yellow flowers. I'll be adding some green in a second. And I'm going to put the gold in here for the handles. I know, it's such small little details. Put gold on this. The lamp, more silver, so I'm going to add some burnt sienna with my ultramarine blue deep, and we have gray. So I'll put the first wash of gray here for my lamp. Right? Now we're going to make some green color. By the way, you can take your burnt umber, another wash of this and add some details to your, maybe a little bit darker. I'll add some more paint to your, this bureau looks a little too light. I'm going to go back in it again. Just way too light. The floor is also light, but we can keep it light and add some detail. And we can change the brown. This is more of an orangey brown. If you want to make it more gray brown, you can add some burnt ultramarine blue deep to it. And then we'll change it a little bit gray, or can bleed a little different colors in there. Because remember, it's an antique. It's not this like perfect little bureau. So I've added some blue in there, and now I've got this nice deep brown. Play with this little section in here, little detail. I'm just going to play with adding in some color in here. Just a little fun detail. And then for the floor, I would go back and just use the burnt umber, like so, because it's so light. Fill this back in. You might need another pass, unless you were heavy-handed the first time. We will add some shadow in a bit, but I just want to fill this in. Voila. So now we're going to use some greens. I used Prussian blue and yellow, 50-50 basically. Maybe a little bit more yellow on this one for make a nice light green, or whatever green you have. And you can just go like this for your little landscape in the background. I know, it's so cute, little tiny picture. I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to put in these guys yet. You can put another little landscape or a portrait. Maybe I would have drawn in a little, I left it blank so that you guys could figure it out. You could have done like a portrait of your pet. So maybe I'll do like a little doggy face. There's the dog. Sir, it could be a girl dog. And then here it could just be a flower, which would be kind of cute. Just, you know, like a little pink flowers. Just tiny little funny details. So also the green can get a little darker. So I made the same green, but added some burnt umber and a little bit more Prussian blue, so we get some deeper green happening. Little details, kind of cute. And then we could use these greens for the floral. So I'll take my brush and make little stems, kind of wiggling around the florals. And then I can take the darker green, which is the Prussian blue, a little bit of the brown, and make little leaves. Or you can make them really bright. See, I'm going to grab my yellow. I've got this bright green. Cleaning off my brush, it's got too much dark green on there. Even more yellow. Chartreuse, kind of yellow green. Just making little leaves in between your floral. Right? And get a little pattern going, even on their little arms there. Up here, put the little line down for the floral. They're so tiny. And then we have the yellow pillow too, right? So maybe this one. It's still wet. I don't want to go near it because it's going to bleed. But the lampshade, just put little leaves on that. Cute, right? And I'm going to take my ultramarine blue deep and burnt sienna, making that gray again. A little deeper value for my little lamp. Just on the right side, a little bit darker, and then some gray underneath. Same thing with a little house, put the gray roof. A little doorway. It's so silly. I could put like a gray color behind the little white doggy and the picture frame. I can almost make it black. Adding the two colors, barely putting any water in there. So you have to look at a white doggy picture. How cute is that? And so I watered this down a little bit. And of course here will be a little shade, right? Get a little thicker actually. Shade from the bureau. And then under the bureau would have, and then the chair. See? Look how cute that would be. Put the shadow here because the bureau is making a shadow. You can put a shadow behind the chair too. Right? And even on the side of the lovely portraits, mixing my colors, they got a little too loose. See that? Just go right on the side and the bottom. Bottom and the side. Gotta make this a little bit darker. Just came out too light in the shadow. Can put some little indentations in the pillow. And then of course the shadow, the lamp. It just makes a little three-dimensional. Mixing those two again, a little thicker details for the lampshade. And I'm going to take my bright rose, really kind of thick, and just kind of put little daps in the center of some of these. Right out of the tube, by the way. Now my yellow, I could keep it mostly yellow and then add a little light green in here. I don't know, overkill maybe. I'll even add some purple. So I can take my bright rose and my ultramarine blue deep, put a little purple in here. Just be careful not to make it muddy. I decided I didn't like the purple because it was starting to get muddy. So I'm just going to go back with my yellow. Make the little blooms a little bit bigger. So they're kind of cute like that. Let that dry a bit. And just, you know, have fun with this. I'm going to add a little bit brighter yellow, my little handles there. And here. And I'll go back and take that deeper green, put it in the pillow. And the one thing I have to wait for, it should be dry, is a shadow under the pillow. And we're pretty much done. Like right here, the pillow's created a shadow. Super fun. And my bureau should get a little bit darker down here. Super little details. Fun, fun, fun. Isn't that cute? I love painting interiors. I don't know if you like them, but I do, and I hope you enjoyed it. There's a million ways you can do this. You can, like I said, use the furniture in your own home, plants, you know, just look, set it up. If you don't have something like this, set it up for yourself. Put your chair over there, take a photograph, and do a bunch of different ones. You can do a bunch of different sections. This whole book could be filled with interiors. Just the lamps on the table, the chairs, all that good stuff. Studying the chairs. And the more you study, the better you're going to get. Drawing and then painting and seeing the shadows. Try and see the shadows if it's during the day. Much better. And a little trick, which it's very flat, the ground. I can do a little dry brushing too on the wood. Again, because it looks washed out. Not necessary, but just kind of adding a little bit more oomph to it. But super fun. I hope you guys had fun doing this. I love ink and wash. It's one of my favorite things to do. And I love to draw furniture. They're so much fun. Have fun doing this. Let me know your thoughts, and I'm curious to see what you guys come up with. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon.